Shane here with Vulgar Display Gaming, and today I'm joined by Vinny of Bulushi Speedball. How you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. I reached out and I was fucking stoked that you agreed to do this because I'm like, fuck yes. Like, this is... It was super last minute, so I was trying to get everything all ready. And I think I'm prepared. And I fucking want to talk about all things nerdy and all things fucking heavy and how you guys fucking... Dude, you're basically party metal, and I fucking love it. You're bringing fun back into metal, you know, and it's not serious. It's fucking awesome. So for people who don't know Bulushi Speedball, it's fucking, like, can I say it's like fucking kind of goofy, and I fucking love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the plan. Fun with, you know, we pride ourselves in being fun. And it's not fun the only people that we poke fun of is ourselves. I guess that's not true. Garth Brooks also, but
we're gonna get into that because you know something that everybody needs to know about Garth Brooks. Okay,
sure, but yeah, no, we're all about having fun, and that's a good way of saying it. You know, pizza thrash. They're getting called party thrash a lot lately. You know, so hell yeah.
I know. Like I said, I heard your first single. My favorite color is pizza. I heard that on Liquid Metal. I was like, this is fucking awesome. As well as we're going to touch into your fucking merch. You guys have the best merch ever. Okay?
Thank you.
Like, I'm just saying, I hope you guys expand into other foods. That's
okay.
But you guys have been around for a while. I think about like 7 to 8 years now. 11. Yeah, okay. I was like just going to the YouTube page. That was the oldest stuff I found. Right. So the formation, you just started it? Because I remember... Your one buddy, you're like, oh, fuck it, we like crossover and let's just have fun. How'd that come about?
Yeah, so Belushi started as like a studio project from me. It was my studio project. And I've been playing music since I was 13. And let's see. So I was in a metalcore band prior. And then I got busy with college. And honestly, like the whole scene, that deathcore scene and all that, it was so toxic and not fun. And like, a lot of I don't know, a lot of bros and stuff, and like I wasn't having fun, and they were really mean, and I'm not about that. I don't like making fun of people and just constantly. Yeah. And like the scene for that, at least here in Louisville, for the metalcore deathcore scene at the time. So I'm 34 now. This is 13 years ago. It was just really like competitive. It wasn't like how our scene kind of is now for like the punk and metal, to where everyone's kind of together. Back then it was like everyone was trying to outdo each other. So I walked away and I was finishing up college, and then around the time when I was still in teaching, my father passed, and so I was 23, and when that happened, I was like, well, man, life's short, and nothing makes me more happy than, you know, playing music and having a band.
It's therapeutic too, you know, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And it's my art. It was a creative outlet. And so, essentially, let's see. I'm a big fan of Guar, right?
Huge fan of Guar.
Man. And I remember seeing Ghoul open up for Guar. And it was kind of a cross of like, almost like death metal thrash. I don't know how to explain it. You know, like
thrash
metal, but yeah. I was like, holy shit, you know, I love this. And then prior to that, two of my favorite bands were Toxic Holocaust and Municipal Waste.
Fucking love both those too.
You know, love crossover thrash. So with Toxic Holocaust, I started doing research. I was 23 and I was starting this project, and I did research. I was reading like a wiki article or something about Joel. And I was like, holy shit, it's one dude. He does everything. Except for I think he had a drummer on Wild Dogs and on Chemical Consciousness, and I don't know, but I'm not sure if it's limited to that. But I know that he's doing drums now. But so he was doing everything in the studio himself, and then when he'd go play live, he would hire touring musicians. So I was like, I didn't realize that was an option, right? And there's a lot of bands that do that. That it's like one or two
nowadays,
people.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's you know, so once I realized, like, oh, that's an option, because what always happens, you get in a band, you're collaborating with someone, they don't want to do it anymore, the whole project folds up. I was done with that. I didn't want that to happen anymore, because every band I was in, after a few years, everyone would break up, and you know, I hate pouring my time and energy into something just to know it's gonna not come to fruition. So with this project, I was like, all right, I'm gonna set out to keep this thing going no matter what. And this is the advice I give to anyone that's starting a band, because I've had a lot of friends ask me this. And if you're a musician or you're playing out or you have a band or whatever, step one is just write a song and record it and put it out there to the world. One song. Because once you do that, then the project actually exists and no one can take that away from you. So that's what I did. I wrote one song, right? And then the way we recorded it was I did all the rhythm guitar and bass. And back then I wasn't even doing vocals. And my buddy, I can't play drums. I got him to do drums. I got my other buddy who's a better guitar player than me to do lead guitar work. And then I sent it out to my buddy in Ohio to do vocals. And that was our first song. And then after that, I kept making a few more. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make an EP. And then after that, I convinced all the dudes to go ahead and play it out. To play it out live. It was about a year later after the EP was out. And the EP is rough. Dude, it is rough. I've pretty much, the demo exists out there somewhere for historical purposes. I've kind of taken it down off of stuff because someone on the, not to digress too much, but someone on the our metal encyclopedia page somehow got a hold of the original demo and reviewed it and gave it like a 30. But I mean, it exists.
That's the start. You can't be down on yourself. You did it, and you did. That's more than most people could fucking ever say.
Damn. I didn't know why I was doing it. I did it myself. But exactly.
Fuck it. Be proud of it. Be proud of it and where you fucking started. Okay.
We always talk about this.
Re-release it on a fucking vinyl now, and everybody will probably want to buy it.
Like Tango and Thrash. Yeah, do a re-release. It's so funny because so Chase and Alex, Chase Bensing, Alex Rosas, who did the album with me, and then Mario, he's up in Ohio. He did vocals. He actually he came out and about 7 years later or 8 years later, and we were playing near him, and he actually came up on stage and sang with us. So it was cool. Yeah. But it's funny because those dudes always are like, man, and I'm with this too. It always sounds worse in our head than when we actually listen to it. So it's not as bad as we remember, but it snowballed. So we played our first live show about a year later, and I got my buddy Bo Kalen to do theatrics for it. He does this character Senor Diablo, and he's a character actor, and he's a local director, and he's really talented. And I told him hey, I really like theatrical bands. Would you like to be a part of this and kind of be in charge of doing all the theatrical aspect of it? So our live shows are insane.
Fun. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. You've gone into this more theatrical thing, like the fucking Nerf gun boards. You're giving props. You destroy the place, but then you guys clean it up afterwards, right? That's your thing. Because I'm
nobody believes me on that. It's so funny because we tell them hey, we're going to make sure the crowd cleans. We always tell the crowd hey, real Bulushi fans, help clean up. Help us clean this up so we can. And they never believe us until after. And then they're like, all right, wow, I didn't think you would. But so we always make sure the place is spotless before we leave. But it's because we want the crowd to all be engaged and they're a part of the band. So
that's fucking awesome that you feed off their energy and you guys play just as hard as the crowd's going fucking wild and it's going back and forth. That's from what I've seen, and I'm like, fuck, when you guys coming to the West Coast,
Eventually, we're trying 2025 maybe. So we're trying up there.
Because that's all I've said is I hope I could play some clips of that Nerf gun war because everybody needs to see that. I'm I want a fucking Nerf gun war,
Yeah, that was wild. So that was our first show. That's not true. I've done Nerf guns a few times. That was our first show back from COVID, and I wanted to do something special, so we did Terminators. Because that's the other thing. Shows a lot of times have themes. Well, they always have themes. But what's changed is now that we play, we tour more, the themes will stay current for an entire run. Mm-hmm. We don't, back in the day, we used to do a new one every single night.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it started getting, it got hard and kind of dumb if you're on the road.
Because you're trying to come up with it on the fly. This is better. You have one stick with one theme, It's
exactly.
Guar, they have their one show for that run. It's better, more focused.
Exactly. And that actually comes from, so, Jameson Land is our lead guitar player. He was Beefcake the Mighty for 10 years in GWAR.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's fucking wild.
Right. So he was actually the one that kind of pulled us aside, and like his level of expertise from being in GWAR has really, really helped transform the band.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome that you even have a veteran to help guide you into the theatrical lane of like, now, dude, we gotta stay focused on one theme for this run.
Right.
It's way better, And then again, like your album that's coming out, I want to get to that because that's fucking. It's got like an Akira theme on it, so there's all this fucking nerdy shit going on. That's what I connected with you guys, and I wanted to get off. We'll talk about Warhammer in a bit because we talked about it earlier, so that'll be like coming in here. We're gonna edit that in.
Well, my first show ever was a few years prior to this. It was Iron Maiden, Dio, Motorhead.
That's a killer show. That's fucking awesome. We'll dig all into this real quick. I'm Shane, and I talk about heavy metal and nerd shit, comics and
hell yeah, dude.
Fucking,
I like the arcade cabinets, man. Those are real ones too, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's a custom-made one. My buddy, he builds custom cabs. Whatever you want, he'll make it. I have a video. Yes. There's an egg down there and everything. Fog machine comes. It's fucking wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my buddy, if you ever feel like checking out my channel, I did an interview with him, and he builds cabs for anybody all around the world to ship you anything.
A little bit when you reached out, man. I looked a little bit, but yeah, dude, I was stoked. So yeah. We're always, dude. I'll do an interview with anyone, man. I'm always down.
I appreciate that. I was like, dude, you guys are fucking awesome.
Thank you.
It's fun fucking party metal. You're bringing that fucking back, dude. And I have fucking Warhammer shit over here that I still have. My pile of gray is so fucking high.
We call it a pile of shame.
Yeah. No, it's a pile of opportunity.
Mine's in the shed, but I'll show you. So, oh man, this is like what I got painted, right? That I painted because nice. I used to have. I don't know if I sent it to you. I had a photo. I used to have a big, 6-foot high bookshelf full. It's my Stampa.
Yeah.
And then that's a ITC 2019 award. I took #1 in the world for Renegades.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So I think you can only, it goes based on faction. So I think only 20 or 24 people win them. But yeah, orcs, and then
fucking Smurfs. That's what I play too. Imperial or fucking Space Marines.
Yeah. Do you play Ultramarines?
Yep, Ultramarines. Smurfs. All the way.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Everyone gives me shit for them, but they're the poster child, and growing up in the 90s, that's all I ever saw. So I always wanted to play Ultra.
That's how it usually is. That's what I grew up too. It's like I went back to Warhammer as an adult because I'm like, wow, I actually have the patience and it's relaxing to paint this shit. As a kid, I found some of them. They were terrible. I couldn't even figure out how to play the fucking game.
Right. Well, the game used to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
Third. Yeah. Because
I love 10th. 10th is great, I think. And then
I'm about to get my first match in here in a couple days.
Did you pick up the latest, or it was a few White Dwarf issues ago? They have 1-page rules now.
No, I didn't. But I looked at all the rules are free for 10th.
Yeah.
Which it plays really. 10th plays a lot like 8th or 9th, just without a psychic phase. That's what I saw. And like I said, so I was, to win that award, dude, I was traveling, and man, I probably had 1,000 matches in that year.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I was playing almost every day.
That's wild.
And then the pandemic hit, and then when I got back into it, after stuff opened back up, I started, man, are you recording?
I straight up recorded, and I'll circle back and do an intro. We're gonna edit this, so it's good. Yeah. I have questions I want to ask you too, but this is a fun conversation. I love talking the nerd shit.
But yeah, so after the pandemic, I started playing again, and I guess 9th Wood came out, and essentially Belushi started really blowing up, and then I was as expecting my baby, our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have time to kind of do it competitively anymore. So I stepped away for a bit, and I just started dipping my toe back in because I'm an all or nothing kind of guy with it. And dude, I was hard, man. I was going hard. So back in 8th and 9th, I used to run Morty Magnus, and the Renegades. I was able to be a Renegade because back then, 50% of your army had to be from that faction. And I was running a Baneblade and 3 Maleficent Lords. So I had 3 Maleficent Lords, Baneblade, Morty, and Magnus, and then like 30 Pink Horrors or something like that. and I think a couple Sorcerers. And back then, Thousand Suns could smite spam. So like people would like army because it'd be so small. But back then, you know, ITC rules, you had to kill more, and you only had to hold 1 objective. So I was always killing more. And always holding the objective, and it'd be funny because we'd go to like Warzone or Cag Bash or these tournaments, and like smaller GTs. You know, Warzone's pretty big, but we'd go there, and my buddies were like, "Man, I'm stressing. Did you read the missions?" I'd be like, "I'm just gonna table my opponent," and they're like, "Well, if you get tabled," I'm like, "Cool, that's it. It's either I get tabled or they get tabled." But I ain't playing the mission, so I used to play really wrong. Just go forward. And, yeah, man.
That's fucking awesome.
It gets silly. They had Death of the False Emperor, and Morty would be doing something like, because almost everyone played Imperium, you know, so Morty would be doing something like, I don't know, like 60 hits or something like that. I think the most mortal wounds I ever did was like 38
Jesus.
In a single swing. Yeah.
That's fucking wild. But just like, how are all these themes and imagery, whether it be music or not, like you're pouring so much into your music, and I fucking love it. What are some of your favorite things you want to bring into this?
Dude, so I'm real nostalgic.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think our generation is in general, because we remember a time where you weren't able just to Google something, so you would like Warhammer's a good example. You see it, you're like, what the hell is this, right? But you couldn't go home and Google it.
No.
So that's a wonder. And then you talked about playing it. You know, you were too young if you're trying to figure out how to play it as a kid. And now as an adult, you're like, fuck it, I'm sitting down. I'm going to learn how to play this, right? So that level of nostalgia of just not knowing, and then your brain finally getting gratification later of a question you've had for 20 years or whatever, you know, I think that plays a big role into it for me, is that, you know, when I think about my childhood and think about all the stuff I love, I still love it to this day. I never outgrew it. And it's weird that like our parents did. Like our parents were like, no, it's kids stuff. Let's put that aside. Yeah. You know, but versus us to where it's like, nah, that stuff's still really cool. You know what I mean? Like I still love comic books and games, and I love retro games especially. And then so my music, whenever I'm writing lyrics and stuff, it's influenced by a lot of pop culture, and it's just I don't know, it's just like it's humor based. Mm-hmm. It's always fire, so it's always something that made me laugh when I think about it. Like, you know, we got on this new album, the Griffith did literally everything wrong. Like, you know, because for a while there was like a meme saying he did nothing wrong. I'm like, he's literally the worst human being on earth. Like, you know, so I want to incorporate that all in the music. It makes it fun, I guess. I don't know. It reminds me of being a kid, so hopefully it reminds others when they listen to it as being a kid.
Yeah, like I said, it's just fun music, and if that's the most important part when I've talked to my buddies that are in bands or other musicians, if you're not having fun making music, then what the fuck are you doing?
Right? 100%, because it's supposed to be fun. You know, there are aspects that are stressful, especially like, you know, with the growth we've had. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of aspects that get stressful with it, but you still got to remember why you did it in the first place, which is that it's fun as hell.
And that's the thing, to be a musician and to even just tour and do all that, you have to make a lot of sacrifices too, where it's like, some of these things I got to do kind of suck, you know, especially like you said, you got your daughter that was just born, and probably when you're touring, hopefully you could take them along, but probably sometimes you can't, being away from family, all that's tough.
Yeah, it's hard.
You know?
Yeah, that's hard, you know?
But you're including family in the. I love the fucking My Favorite Colored Pizza video. You have your daughter in it. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I got a big poster of that, which so. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there it is right here on the.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and that was a really cool time. Yeah, so.
That's
you know, and that's the Bulushi corner right there. My wife loves it. Teddy Ruxpin.
So yeah, going off.
All the merch, because I'm sending merch all the time through here. You know.
No, let's talk about your amazing merch. I'll probably have pictures popping up of the Teddy Ruxpin thing. You put it on that. The Super Nintendo cartridge you have with the album. The N64 cartridge. The fucking resin pizza. Tell me about all these fucking ideas for your merch.
Yeah. So, go on, man. I'm letting my dog out. Sorry.
No problem.
So, no problem. It's a creative outlet, just like writing music or doing, but with the merch, what helps with that is because I do come from a wargaming background because of 40K. I learned how to kit bash. I'm a orc player. Learned how to kit bash, and you learn how to creative ways to make models that you can't afford, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of the same principle. What can you make this piece of media do? And so I just go down a rabbit hole and see what I can do. It started with Game Boy Advance. Years ago, we did a Game Boy Advance album before What Us Worry. And God, that might have been 2018, 2017, somewhere around there. And I went down a rabbit hole, and then just you start with an idea like, I wonder what else I can do using the same principle. So, but yeah, no, I make most of the merch myself. I'd say probably 65% of that I make. Don't make the t-shirts. I don't make the patches, but the VHS tapes I make myself.
That's fucking so wild. The VHS tape.
So here, I'll show you this. So right now, people have been messaging me. It's embarrassing a little bit. There's a couple things going on here. Right there, that's a Belushi trash bag. So anytime I have clean trash, you'll see them all throughout the house. So recyclables and clean trash, I put them in there. And then they end up in the shed and we get a big pile of them. That's how we always have trash on hand for shows. But yeah, so this is, these are 2 pizzas right now. They're drying, sealed in resin. You can see that's in there right now. So this one will be done when it dries. This one isn't quite finished. So people are messaging me like, where's my pizza? I'm like, dude, minimum 30 days turnaround is what it's taking me to make them. But I can only make about 5 at a time. And the problem is pizza floats when you're pouring it in resin. So you got to do like a pour a day, like a little bit to get it to kind of sit. And then you keep stacking it. So it takes about a week to get about 5 done. So I'm doing my best.
You should personalize it a bit and take a bite out of each piece. I'm pretty sure. How are you not hungry when you're making these? I feel like let's put some parm on one, dip it right.
Get to eat a bunch of pizza. So and then, like I said, this is kind of a nightmare right now because I'm in the process of shipping stuff. But this is like my work spot, so all the various like cards and instructions. Like here, if I go to N for N64, there's the insert card, there's the instructions. So like it's all organized based on the packages because like I do it all myself. There's a VHS tape right here getting ready to. I'm gonna ship this out tonight.
Awesome.
So, yeah, and then I'll show you something that no one's seen yet. So we actually went gold. So that they have gold albums. My plaque is coming. I gotta add my plaque. Yeah, I'm gonna have so we're gonna have Spinelli's give this to us and award this to us. But yeah, so it turns out you need to sell like 500,000 CDs to go gold. It turns out if you sell one pizza single, you go gold. You only have to sell one.
There you go. You set the new standard of pizza gold singles. Are you going to expand to other foods? Are we going to see pickles or cauliflower, or what about some spaghettis? You know?
No, probably not. It's such a pain. So,
I feel like there should be. Are you going to make a food-based album next? You know?
Fully edible, just gummies.
Yes. Yes. And while you're dressed up as Teddy Ruxpin's, you know, singing about, you know, cauliflower.
I love it.
There you go. No, but I absolutely love all the themes you're bringing into everything, and seeing your live performances are fucking amazing. How you just get the crowd involved. Like you said, so you're tossing out clean trash, right? You're not just tossing out dirty shit, right?
So, well, it depends. It depends on
what constitutes clean trash.
Yeah, so if you see us indoors, 99% of the time now it's going to be clean. Now, years ago, there's some venues in Louisville that would let us do whatever, and we get really gross. You know, like we had a piñata for Halloween full of, we called it creamed candy corn. It was cream corn and candy corn mixed together, and we had like a big, it was gross. So we would get disgusting sometimes, but when we're on the road now, you know, it's the first time the venue has us. They want us back, so they get 2 show options. And like if they have like a lot of arcade cabinets around, because some of these venues are smaller, we do what's called a dry show, or the wet show. And so, you know, is the other option. With the wet show, it's LaCroix. You know, it's all water-based stuff. It's not sugar. And then we're not throwing out like just trash you would have in your kitchen. I call it clean trash because it's paper and plastic and recyclables essentially. So it's easy to clean up. It goes everywhere, so it is messy, but it's not gross. You're not getting old nasty food on you and stuff. Now I say that, but when we play outside, all bets are off. Like when we played Muddy Roots or we played Full Terror Assault, like Full Terror Assault, we gave everyone stock in Belushi Speedball, like they had share stocks, you know, shares, and so we had a stockholders meeting, and we just shot them with soup stock that we had baking in the trailer for like a week. So we had like a pressure washer and was shooting soup stock at them. So we're like, come here for your share of stock. And we're like spraying up in the mouth.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eric from Bonginator came up to sing Municipal Waste, and I shot him directly in his mouth, and he was like, came out.
That's what I would talk about. All these collaboration special things you got going on, people coming up, and you're just fucking having a blast. What are some of the experiences you want people to take away from your shows?
Dude, I want them to say that was the most fun I've ever had. I want them to feel like I was a part of the show. So even the bigger shows, we try to make it feel intimate, that like we are there just for you, and we need all of them participating to be a part of the band, right? So I want them to leave feeling like that was really special, and that was the most fun I've ever had. And we accomplished that. I don't know. We tried.
I think you do, from what I've seen and from what I've fucking heard. It's awesome that you're doing that, because I love bands with the theatrical performance. I love Guar. I've seen Guar over like 11 times. Like anytime Guar came into town, I would even go somewhere else to go see him. You know, that's how much I love Guar. So able to see Dave, you know, rest in peace. He's still out there floating, fucking in the galaxy somewhere, you know. But I just love the theatrics behind it, getting soaked in blood. I was always up in front, just fucking like, oh man, I love it. So that's why
you all over.
And I just love it. And then you have the 2 different kinds of shows, so you have 2 different experiences. Do you travel with a bunch of Nerf guns too, or what?
Oh yeah, God, I started rambling about stuff. So with the Nerf gun, getting back to that, the Nerf gun one, that was our first show pandemic. So I did something special there. So that is a trick that if we feel like we really need to win over a crowd, then we'll do that. And I've done it a couple times. But yeah, we travel with them. And the key with Nerf guns is you have to make sure every single one of them is preloaded and working. Because a lot of those Nerf guns are, like, the simple ones are fine, but a lot of Nerf guns are really tricky to load, especially with the ones that take like the cartridges and the magazines.
Yeah.
So that show you're talking about, the big one.
Yeah.
I had 1,000 Nerf guns, and it was a lot. I bought.
You had what?
1,000 Nerf guns. It was a lot, like a lot sale. They do like eBay does those lots where it'd be like 1,000 comic books.
Whoever sold him was like, fuck it, he wants 1,000 Nerf guns.
Well, so that was a crazy story. It was a guy that lived out in I think Simpsonville, Kentucky, or Shelbyville, Kentucky. He was out in a little bit past Louisville, like 30 minutes, kind of like middle of the sticks. And he had 1,000 Nerf guns, and he wanted $100 for them. And I was like, dude, I'll take these 100%. So he's like, awesome. And I'll send you, I'll find it. There's a photo. Back then I had a Mustang. And I'm not kidding. The Mustang was packed to the roof liner with Nerf guns, and my trunk was full. And I had to do 2 trips to get them all. And so what it was the guy has a special needs son, and his special needs son does a YouTube video for Nerf guns.
Oh.
And so people started sending them Nerf guns.
Oh, wow.
And they started sending way too many. He said like his whole house was like taken over. Oh, so he said like taking a glass of water out of the ocean of Nerf guns. You know what I mean? So like they review all these different Nerf guns and stuff. And that guy was really, it was wild. He was a Guar fan too. He was like, what do you need all these for? And I explained, he's like, oh, like Guar? And I was like, dude, like he's an older dude, but I guess once a slave, always a slave. So,
hell yeah, dude.
Long story short, for that one, it took me about 2 weeks. I had to have every single gun tested and preloaded because you got to test them, fresh batteries in all of them. And then I've done that about 4 or 5 other times. But the cool thing is you can have like boxes on stage. I'm like, hey, take the Nerf guns if you want them, but if there's any that you don't want, throw them back up here. So you usually about 50% back, so you can keep that gag kind of running through until you're finally out.
Yeah, because you're like, fuck, I don't need all of these guns. Let's just have fun, you know? Because damn, $100 for all of those, pretty good deal. You came up on some Nerf guns.
Yeah. So we did about 5 or 6 shows off of that lot. And then I've done it 2 other times where I bought a lot, not near that size, but.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I really want to know what's going on with Garth Brooks. Like, how do you know what we don't know? Like, now I'm scared. I'm like, damn, you're onto something here. Like,
oh man, it's
and that music video is fucking great, by the way. The 8-bit music video. Yeah, our buddy Aaron, he's up in Wisconsin. Aaron, I think it's Mutzer is how you pronounce his last name. It's with an M. Yeah, dude, he, I think he reached out to me and said, hey, if you ever need visuals, let me know. And he's like, I do like these 8-bit things. And like, he did it using actual Nintendo models. Like there was Renegade models that he used, I think Double Dragon, and like, so it was really cool. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. So yeah, if you ever want a visual video 8-bit, hit up Aaron. Yeah, send me the link. I'll have it in the description.
Okay.
We'll hook him up. Yeah.
He's really talented. And then I think he's a juggalo for sure. And I think he's an artist too. I think he's like a juggalo artist to where I think he does hip hop or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Horrorcore.
Nice.
Yeah. No, Garth Brooks, man. He allegedly, according to your Mom's House podcast, allegedly is a serial killer.
I know that Tom Segura was talking about that and shit.
Yeah. So it's a nod to one of our favorite bits, just the stuff they say on there. And at the time, Kyle, he's the other vocalist on that song. He was a guitarist for Bulushi for a long time, and then once in a while he'll come out and do vocals with us. It was his idea because he said, hey, did you see all the Garth Brooks stuff? And like he explained the joke to us and we were dying. This is years ago. So it's one of those running gags that I find hilarious. So wrote a song about it.
I know, that's fucking awesome. So going off of that, you said you had slipping my mind. He was the he did vocals on the track, and then he came back and he does some with you. But you're primarily doing vocals right now, right?
Yeah. So on the albums, every single Bulushi album I recorded bass. Mm-hmm. Some of them I did rhythm guitar on, but the past So from This Is What We Look Like, the 7-inch, the 3-song EP with Anchor Arms, from that on up, I haven't done guitar. But the recording process is I write a song on guitar, I go into the studio, and I lay down a scratch track. And then Chase Bennington, he's who produces us and records us. He's Belushi's original guitarist live, and he did all the lead work on that first demo. He'll go through and he'll take my guitar tracks and he'll re-record them. He's a better guitarist, I mean, flat out, and it actually saves me money. Because for me to get a perfect take versus him, it's going to take me, I don't know, a lot longer. We'll say that, because I'm sloppy. So my chugs and stuff, everything needs to be in unison. Also, he has way more theory than me. So he knows how to harmonize everything and do all that. So he does all the guitar work there. And then I do all the bass. And now bass, I'm actually a bassist. This is what I normally did in all my bands from when I was like 9. I've played bass. So my takes only take me a few seconds. And then anyways, chord guitar, Chase fixes them. Daniel Neal goes in, lays down drums. I lay down bass. And then we get lead work done from anyone. Now it's Jameson's doing all the lead work. And then I go in and knock out vocals, right? So that's kind of how it is for the recordings. But live, right now, I'm very spoiled because I have enough musicians to where I can just front and do vocals. But we did a run not too long ago where I was playing bass. And then if need be, I can play guitar live. And, I'd rather not. But I had to for a while because we kept this thing going, and sometimes you lose musicians and you got to keep shows going, and so you fill in where you got to fill in.
That's awesome how versatile you are, so that's fucking great. You're keeping it going, you're making all the sacrifices that you don't want to do to keep it all chugging along. Right.
And again, shout out to Joel Grind. That's Joel's playing bass now, but for the longest time he was doing, you know what I mean? So it's his formula, man.
That's,
so
that's fucking awesome. I want to get back to, so let me see if I can pronounce the album right. Stelkira.
Yeah, like okay. Akira, my cat Stella.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, there's signed cat photos.
Yeah, yeah, they're $2. You get her little paw print.
Exactly.
So, yeah, when we play live, you can just buy them. They're unsigned for $1, and they go to our cat treats. At every single one of our shows, we used to have like a slew of her like autograph photos there, but they would sell out every time, and she started getting pissed having to do like 40 before a show. So now it's only if you buy them offline you can get them signed. But yeah, it's her little.
That's fucking fun. You're actually like, come on.
Whole thing.
You got to put some work into this too. You think you live here for free? Come on.
Yeah.
No, but that's awesome. But this new album, what other kind of things you wanted to bring to it? I know we got, Garth Brooks. We know he's doing some fucked up shit. We know your favorite color is pizza already. What other themes did you want to bring to this album? Did you have these already written, or how long did it take to write this?
Okay, so that this is a weird one. So I was telling you our recording process prior, but with this one, this is the first album that we got Jameson land on for the entire thing, and he wanted to collaborate more. So a lot of these songs were written during the pandemic, and I had some scratch tracks done, but they were kind of just bare bones, and worked them out, kind of finalized them. So right when What Us Worry dropped, that next week I was in the studio finishing this up. Violet was just born, and then Chase, the guy who records us, was expecting it. He told me that they're trying for kids. So when he told me that, I was like, okay, I got to get this one knocked out, because once that baby's born, his time was going to be a lot less limited, a lot more limited. So with this one, Jameson added a lot in terms of collaboration. I sat down with him and I ran through the songs, and he would help me like add parts or kind of put solos in it or finalize things or do like key change things or whatever. So, but yeah, no, as far as the theme, there is not an overarching theme. Like the whole album isn't Akira based. In fact, there's not even an Akira song on it.
I know.
But What Us Worry, aliens on the cover. And it's just, I just like to have cool ass covers. Shout out to Andre Bozikov. He does the freaking best artwork ever. So, yeah.
I fucking love the whole. That's what I'm saying. I like the Akira kind of thing, and it's that when you transform into the mask, you have all your faces on it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So, how important do you think artwork is to a fucking band's image? I just love asking opinions on that. Like,
yeah, 100%. So, I'm gonna tell you a quick story on that one. So. Prior to this, our artwork was always pretty, it was good. But I would always upload our albums on the New Wave of Thrash. And we would get like 3,000 or 4,000 listeners, the YouTube channel. Shout out to him. Shout out to Grease. Yeah. That guy, one hardworking dude with that YouTube channel. And he's so cool. And so he gave us a platform before anyone would, right? And at this time, I think Spotify isn't what it was now. Okay, Spotify was around, but now most people are listening to music digitally through YouTube. And I would notice when he would upload a band that got a ton of views, that they just had a really badass cover art. And I kept noticing like this one style of artist. And shout out to our friends in Australia, Head in a Jar. They released an album on that New Wave of Thrash site. And I was like, dude, who did your cover art? Because I'm somewhat friends with them, through online. So I felt comfortable to ask them. Not that my dumb ass could have just looked in the description, but at the time, I didn't think like it was one artist doing them all. It turned out to be Andre Bozikov. And so the minute we got Andre to do our artwork, and we dropped, I think it would have been Stella 1, Stella 2, like instantly that YouTube video got like 10,000 listens, because this draws the eye. And no, that album, we sold out of our vinyl like in a week because there's collectors who just want that artist's artwork. They don't even care about the music. So short story, art is like the number one thing you should do.
I love album art, and I've even like went to go listen to an album because the art, it draws you in.
Yeah, and that's an old 80s and 90s premise there from when we were growing up, like having badass cover art. You go and, like, God, I don't think I would have bought Crazy Town's CD when I was 10, knowing what the music sounded like if it wasn't for that dope ass cover art,
Oh, man. No, that's fucking awesome. Because, I still collect shit tons of vinyl. I fucking love it. And it sucks nowadays because it's like, so how is it being, where you guys are at with vinyl, like even trying to get that put out? It's so fucking hard. How is the whole, I guess, from your musical career when you started, how have you seen this scene transition? How much more expensive has everything gotten? How hard it is? That's why you're making your own merch, which is fucking great, right?
So, I mean, that is a double-edged sword right there, though. So things are more expensive, and it is harder to get your hands on vinyl. But people are buying physical media great.
That's why I bring it up. It's like bands are expected to have this now. If you don't have good merch, if you don't have merch for people to buy, that's limiting in a sense.
Right. So the DIY merch, I like making it personally. I like doing it. But you got to have physical media. People collect it, and they don't even. I don't actually know what the statistic on this is, so I feel like it's higher for metalheads.
Oh yeah,
but there's a lot of people that don't actually listen to the physical media, at least not the way I listened to my CDs when I was a kid in my Walkman. Like they're mostly listening digitally through their phones when they're in the car or whatever. I'm sure they're sitting down putting vinyl on, but that's my point. Is there's a lot of people that just want it as a collector's piece. So it's really important that if you're a band and you want to get your name out there, to have strong merchandise that people want to collect. And that was one of the things that I didn't even do it intentionally. I just like making it. But, I wanted to have my own action figures. So we made
it's fucking
action
awesome.
figures.
Yeah.
So things like that. But with the vinyl, I guess one of the advice, unless you're with like a record label, because we're independent now fully. And one of the tricks I learned with Stella 1, Stella 2 was we do like an initial release with the CDs in our cassettes, and we have like a release show. And then like after the release show, I go ahead and I order vinyl then. So that way it's almost like I can do another release. Like this is our vinyl release and get people excited. What Us Worry did that just because we had a European label called Empire Records. I think he's in Belgium. He did like a Cannabis Corpse album and a couple other bands. He's pretty nice guy. Shout out to Tony. But he basically put out our vinyl for us. And, there's a delay, and we're like, whatever. It's not a big deal. And by the time I got him, I think he gave me $75 for free, and I put him up there because people had the album already and were listening to it and were ready for that physical vinyl. When we finally got the vinyls, I sold out of all 75 in 3 hours. Wow. They were gone. So it wasn't even necessarily like an intentional thing to create that demand, but I don't think there's anything wrong, I guess, to release an album and not have the vinyl right away and to have that delay gratification of having it later. But that is definitely something that's changed, is if you are trying to do a release with vinyl, it is really tough to line that up. You better be planning that a year and a half in advance. Wow. Because you never know when you're going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got this right here. So these are my my prized comic books, and
that's right. We'll talk comics real quick too.
I wanted to show you this, man. Yeah. So basically, like, I had an eBay account since I was 13. So I was buying up a lot of like first appearances before MCU came out, and so okay, so like I got first appearance of Nick Fury there.
Ooh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then I know it's in here somewhere. Let's see what. Oh yeah, here's Hulk 181. So first Wolverine. And I bought these, like I said, in the hundreds, and the value went up so insane. Where are you, little scamp? There's. It's at 0.5, but that's issue 1 of Hulk right there.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and I bought issue 1 of Hulk. Now that's one actually I got recently, a couple of years ago. But I bought issue 1 of Hulk when I was like 16, for like $600, and it was kind of in the same shape. And like that comic book now is like outrageous. But yeah, so I wanted to show these off. So I'm a collector of Silver Age comics. Like I love it. I love key issues and Silver Age. And I bring that premise of like collectability to our merchandise. Like I've had some of these things for 20 years. So whenever I'm making something, I want it to be something that someone's going to have 20 years later and show it off. I'm like, oh yeah, this is my 101 gold pizza from Bulushi Speedball or whatever stupid thing, I sell.
No, that's fucking awesome. I have like 30 long boxes of comics. Yep. Like it's ridiculous. Like there's stacks of comics over there. Actually, what I was
reading.
What's up?
What are you reading?
What am I reading right now? The new Energon universe that now Image has gotten it. They got the new Transformers, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander. Have you checked out any of that yet?
I didn't even know Image picked that up.
So Image has all of those properties now, and Transformers is incredibly violent, where you have fucking Starscream splatting somebody, and like it's gory, it's bloody, it's like really violent robot on robot action. The action scenes, the panels are done really well, where it's like full on fighting and everything. And then you have Duke, from the leader of G.I. Joe. He's like fucking a badass. And then you have Cobra Commander, like his origin, how it's fucking great. It's actually 4 books in the Energon universe. There's Void Rivals, you have Duke, Cobra Commander, and then Transformers. I recommend reading it.
When did you pick up the when did they get it?
This was like probably last year they had it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, it's the end of last year. These issues are all like, I think, issue 6 so far.
Awesome.
So pick it up.
Oh man, I use a different one near me, but the one that was doing all my polls shut down about a year ago, and so I've been out of the loop on releases because that's what I used to do is I'd go on the website and click new releases and he'd save them for me. So I didn't even know Image did that, dude.
If you ever if you ever want, I do a comic book podcast once a month with my comic book store owner. He's an industry, like he knows all the people in there, and then his buddy Mike, he's a independent comic book artist or writer, and he fucking knows all these people in industry. So we just do it once a month. Our favorite books of the month. We talk about one main topic and then talk about books coming out for the next month.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so if you ever want to get on, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Anytime. Yeah, that'd be cool. So I love it, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is my life is just heavy metal nerd shit.
Yeah, dude.
know?
So I see. I've been reading a lot of '90s Batman.
Oh, that stuff's good. Yeah,
I read all Nightfall or whatever. It's Night Watch, all that stuff. Bane. I was reading all that. So I was reading a lot of '90s Batman. So going back,
I know you guys have a comic too, right? Your graphic novel.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's I always tell people it's chaos. So the cover's done by Stephen Blankenshire. He was an inker for Spider-Man 29.9 in the 90s. So he's a Marvel artist. And so he did the cover for us. And then the interior is done by a dude. His name's oh god. Well, it's Tim is his first name. It's on there. It's on the website. It's on Bulushi. So I can't think of it offhand right now. But yeah, so he did all the interior, and he has like an anime style. So there's a stark contrast between the cover and the inside. But the thing with that book is, I think it's 15 pages. It's short. And what we did was we played telephone with each other, every member of Belushi. So basically each one of us was in charge of writing 3 pages, and the next person could only see the last panel. So they had to write 3 pages. So it's just complete chaos.
No, that's fucking fun though. Like real quick.
Fun. I just have to give that backstory anytime I'm doing that. So
pulling a bunch of random shit over here. I actually was able to see Bruce Dickinson. He played a small club in the Whiskey. Yeah.
Whiskey to Go.
Yeah, I was there for that, and then he released his own comic with Z2. These are the weirdest fucking squared comics, but it's cool. It's issue 1 and 2, and then they come with like certificates of authenticity. It's the first run, so that's kind of cool.
Dude, how packed was that show?
Oh, it was awesome. It was packed. But he played for an hour and a half. I actually did a whole review on it if you feel like watching. It's like real quick.
Oh.
But then there's video clips of him. He plays the theremin, I guess that's what it's called, the little radio tower thing.
Yeah.
He's doing like this weird shit. It's pretty cool. Have you seen King Kong versus Justice League versus Godzilla?
No. That's awesome.
Like,
I've seen the Godzilla versus Power Rangers that dropped.
Yeah,
so
this one's pretty wonky, but this cover is like a limited edition cover. When you open up the cover, it roars.
Oh shit!
What else? I got some. I love Image stuff. Like sometimes if Image they put out a good book that has good art, I just pick it up. Like I like this Little Monsters, talking about like vampires. I got left behind like the apocalypse, but they live forever, so they don't know what the fuck happened. It's kind of crazy.
It's serious. Read it yet, but I've saw some reviews on it.
Yeah.
So.
The Batman run, I'm so far behind this Batman run. The other issues are somewhere over there. Like all my shit's everywhere. I try to read what I got. Like fuck, this is something I need to read too. There's another Image book. I just like the art. Plot Holes.
Oh, cool.
Then you got what fucking Creep Show. Then fucking another Batman book because that's all DC's putting out is Batman. I think like almost half their books they're putting out a month are Batman. Family.
But Marvel was kind of doing that with Spider-Man.
There's so many Spider-Man books. Like
that
wasn't even all my Marvel stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot because you got the whole thing with Miles Morales. You got
Ultimate Spider-Man. The new Ultimate Spider-Man is really fucking good. Where Uncle Ben lived. It just came out, but they're I think they're on the 5th or 6th printing now. If you want to pick up an issue 1 of that.
Hell yeah, dude. Or first printing. I'll go on eBay.
Yeah. Good luck. I know that one's kind of expensive, but dude.
Is it? What's it going for?
I just know it'd be expensive. If they're ready on the 4th or 5th, 6th printing, I got the 3rd printing of it, I think.
Oh god.
Yeah. but have you read any of the Black Label Batman or the Black Label books DC's putting out?
I haven't. Is it good?
Yeah, they're very good. Big issues, really cool.
Well, so I want to add one thing. I don't know if you get, but what I was talking about, Belushi and stuff in the lineup. I don't want it to sound like it's just me.
No.
We have a very strong core lineup this currently, because the lineup does fluctuate and changes depending on shows. But Tony, our bassist, Daniel Neal, Derek, and Jameson, it's been the strongest, most like unified lineup we've had for a long time, and so it's really helped Belushi kind of drive forward. So I did want to just say that. So.
And that's fucking awesome. Real quick, the future aspirations of Belushi, you're going strong. You got everything going. Hey.
Yeah. He wants.
Yeah, that's fine. And then you have a bunch of tour dates coming up. You got Milwaukee Metal Fest coming up. And what else you got real quick before we go?
Yes, so we got to run. Well, our album release is coming up in Louisville, May 11th. And then we have a 3-day run, including Milwaukee Metal Fest as part of that 3-day, with Death Ray Vision, which we're super, super excited about. And then after that, we got that 10-day run with Joe Buck in June. And then we're heading to the Czech Republic for Obscene Extreme. And then we got Muddy Roots. So that's what's announced. We got, during that June run, we also have, it's Bonginators Fest. It's New England Death Metal Fun Time Bonanza. And they just recently moved it. It was going to be in New Hampshire, and it's in Maine now. So, yeah, so we got that, and then working on the new album already. Even though we got this one, working on the next one.
That's all you can do. Vinny, it's been an absolute pleasure. I wish Belushi Speedball nothing but the best. And I'm excited for the future, for when you guys come out to the West Coast, hopefully.
Dude, thank you, man. Thank you for everything. So, anytime you want me on, man, I would love to be on that comic podcast,
dude,
and just talk about just comic books.
It's just once a month. It's just a quick overview where we just talk about our favorite books of the month and things we're excited about. And I don't know if you've been watching the X-Men 97 cartoon.
Yeah. Yes.
So good.
Absolutely.
So good. So we've been talking about that now, and then maybe we'll talk about...
No.
What's up?
They got X-Men 97 action figures. The Marvel Legends line did them. So, yeah.
No,
and then... Yeah, sorry, last thing. I want to hold you up.
No. I'm holding you up. You're doing important stuff.
I just picked that up. When is that drop now? The Batman Barbarian. They have a name for the series. That might have been what you're talking about.
I think that's the new, not Dawn of DC. It's like the new universe popping up, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Thought that was going to happen sometime over the summer. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Dude, there's so much stuff going on. Like I said, as you could tell and what we've been talking about, we're all into the same stuff. It'd be video games. We didn't even talk if you're playing any games or anything, and like all this, it's just a lot to keep up on.
Oh yeah, man. Well, have me on it again, and we'll go down that rabbit hole.
I really appreciate you talking to me. I hope we stay in touch, dude. Fucking maybe one day we'll get a game of Warhammer in together.
Dude, that'd be sick. I'd love it. Get some 10th in.
Yeah, whenever you want to come out to LA, trust me, that'd be fucking awesome, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Well, take care, buddy. I'll talk to you.
Hey, man, take it easy.